Hey, in January 2019, which is the summer down on the South Pole, I went to Antarctica. So I took a trip. It was a great trip. We went to the Falklands, to South Georgia Island, to Antarctica, and back to South America. It was like a 3-week trip. I loved every minute of it. South Georgia Island is amazing. I wish every kid in America could go to South Georgia Island, but since I can't get you all there, I thought at least I'd show you the pictures and filming that was done down there. Did I go down there to write a book? No. Did I go down there to do research? No. I went there for fun. When I was there, it was so amazing. Maybe I do have a few books in my head from going down there. I packed my bag. I flew from Boston to Miami, Miami to Buenos Aires to Ushuaia. So Ushuaia, Cape Horn, tip of South America, Ushuaia, Argentina. I end up there. And we end up in the Falkland Islands. I did see rockhopper penguins there. We also learned that the rockhoppers nest next to the albatross. So we saw albatross chicks, we saw rockhopper chicks in South Georgia Island. Man, that is a place everyone should get to go. I wish I was wealthy enough to send every kid in school in America to South Georgia Island. After visiting a couple of private islands with penguins on them, we go to Stanley, the capital of the Falklands, but I'm not really going to talk about that. So when we're done with Stanley, we take off and we head to South Georgia Island. So it was a 2-day long sail to South Georgia Island. So we cruise to South Georgia Island, an 800-mile cruise, and we see lots of whales, maybe 200 humpback whales. And we never saw any orcas. For some reason on this trip, we never saw any orcas. But we saw killer whales. We saw lots of humpbacks. And finally, it was really rough. When we finally get there, I can't explain how unbelievable South Georgia Island is. We cruise all night. We wake up in the morning, incredible bay called Fortuna Bay. So here we are in Fortuna Bay. The beach is covered with seals. So that's our first look at some great wildlife. And then maybe a mile away was a nursery full of 15,000 pairs of king penguins. South Georgia Island is beautiful. Why is there no snow? It's their summer. So when it's winter on the northern hemisphere, it's summer on the southern hemisphere. So I'm down there during the summer. That's why there's no snow on the ground. They told us where you see in these pictures that there was probably 5 to 7 feet of snow on the ground in the winter, or it's 50 below zero there. So this is the first time I get to see king penguins and their brown fuzzy chicks. So they told us that the chicks are 1 year old and they haven't been in the ocean yet. The moms and dads, they got the white, beautiful feathers with the orange and the black. And it was great. This was really something. By the way, you're looking at pictures of the mountain where Shackleton, in that book South, trying to rescue his men, came up over those mountains. He landed on the other side of the island. Because of the wind and the surf and everything, he was in a little boat. He landed on the other side of the island. He climbed over those mountains along this beach that you're seeing, up over another thing called Shackleton Pass, and he landed in the whaling town. We'll get to the whaling town in a few minutes. So here's the whaling town. It's called Griptyken. Seals everywhere. There were fur seals, elephant seals, Weddell seals, leopard seals. There's the whaling town, and there's the cemetery at the whaling town. And that big granite tombstone in the back there, that's Shackleton's grave. So I can't believe it. I'm at Shackleton's grave. I can't believe it. So the ship assembled all of us, all 135 passengers, and they had us toast to Shackleton, the greatest explorer of the South Pole. That was really fun. You can see in Griptyken, it's a ghost town. Nobody lives there anymore. In fact, nobody lives there for 10 months of the year. A few people in the museum sell postcards and stuff like that. And during the summer, for a month or two, there's a whale expert, a fish expert, a bird expert that lives and does scientific research. But that's it. There's no one on the whole island. So here's Griptyken, an abandoned town where they used to kill whales. So we saw the logs of a list of all the whales they killed. And between 1904 and 1964, they killed 2,032,000 whales. I can't believe it. 2 million whales were killed right there in that ghost town. So we left the whaling station and off we went. And our first stop was to see a wandering albatross, a seabird with wings 10 feet wide. So you're seeing pictures here of the wandering albatross, a really pretty bird. And they go out to sea for months at a time. And the photographer captured one. By the way, if you see red jackets, I'm one of those guys in the red jackets. It was summer there, but it was still like 30 degrees. It might be misty, it might be cloudy, a little windy. So we still had heavy jackets on. Heavy jackets, life jackets when we're in the boats, and waterproof pants in case we get splashed. And there we are, right there on the beach with the seals, with the penguins. We then go to Salisbury Plain, and this is just an incredible day. Here we are, 500,000 king penguins in one place. The bird guys said it was the largest amount of birds in one place in the whole world. And there we are, right on the beach with them. And of course it was loud, and of course they smelled like birds. We also got introduced to the skuas, and the skuas are a predator bird that eats any penguin or seal they could get their hands on. You're seeing an elephant seal. They call them the blubber sluggers. So this big hunk of blubber that's moving along. Those are the elephant seals. And some of these shots you can see behind me, it's like a mile of penguins, just great. All those penguins that you see, they're either sitting on an egg or they're taking care of their chicks. What was funny is they call that, say, the nursery. And then behind, you'll see all these other penguins. They call that the singles bar. So those penguins are looking for mates, and these penguins over here are taking care of their chicks. We were told that the female lays the egg, and then she's so exhausted, she goes to sea to eat fish and get rejuvenated, and the male sits on the egg for 2 weeks. Then she comes back, sits on the egg for 2 weeks while he goes and eats. And they take turns sitting on the egg and take care of the chicks. From there we go to DRYGALSKI fjord. That was pretty amazing. Mountains on both sides, glaciers on both sides, and just freezing cold. So here it is this summer, and it is freezing cold, surrounded by glaciers and sharp cliffs. So there's so much action on the beach with all those 500,000 penguins and seals that this was kind of a good break to just cruise into the fjord and come back out. I don't know how fast the glaciers move, what, an inch a day maybe? So every now and then a big chunk would fall off into the ocean. So from there we went to Cooper Bay the next morning. We get up at 8 o'clock and we go to Cooper Bay, and for some reason we're not allowed to be on the island. So we get in the inflatable boats and we're approaching the island. We saw all these penguins, they call it dolphining or something. They're diving like that. And here's our first look at macaroni penguins. If you look at their head, it looks like they have spaghetti on the top of their head. There's the macaroni penguins, and we're in the inflatable boats. We weren't allowed on shore, like I said. So it's a calm day, it's a great day. Seals on the beach, penguins, beautiful coastline. And from there, we head to another spot. We go to Gold Harbor. I'm still not in Antarctica. I'm in South Georgia Island. And we go on the beaches, and they said, today, this morning, we're gonna see elephant seals. And that's what we did. There were penguins everywhere, but there were elephant seals. The elephant seals are huge. We could walk near them, but they told us to stay away from their mouths. You know, they could give you a mean bite. So we're on the beach, and we would stay on the beach like 3 hours. And we could walk around pretty much anywhere we wanted. I love looking at the elephant seals. I'm from New England, there are no elephant seals here. The only thing we have are harbor seals that I know of. So those are the elephant seals. We say goodbye to South Georgia Island. What a place. Great sea life everywhere. We finally make it to Antarctica. Hey, here's part 1. It was my trip to South Georgia Island. So I hope you enjoyed part 1. Kids, don't forget to follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Check out our YouTube channel, @Pallotta.